here by an anomaly. Secondly, brutal gangsters, tough guys like you and me are at the helm right now. Do you understand the deal? I need the people who are ready to do the toughest things. Crazy sort of men like me and you. And you now are just my borrower. So, my dear comrade, are you ready to pay your debt?
The storm has gone, and skies have returned to their regular colors, but the endless storm that took our island into blockade still remains. Yes, the storm doesn't disappear to this day. As survivors, we have somehow adjusted to new ways. We have rebuilt fortifications, shelters. We continue to explore the island with them on us.
The island is inhabited by all sorts of scum. Istiviki local freaks out of tribes. Brigaders are like former Soviet deserters. There are also all sorts of moronic fanatics, kinds of gangs, abnormal creatures, mutated animals, and some real
Do you accept the rules of the island? Which price are you willing to pay to find your happiness?
Do you want to make a new raid on the burial grounds? It's impossible right now. The war will soon rage on the island. The Istoviki are fucking up with the brigade, and nobody is going to support us anymore. There is no Soviet army left. We're on our own now. Our only chance is to gather the remnants of Vimple anew. Listen, Reaper, far from every one of ours is dead. It's a suicide mission, and to complete it, we need our mates. Yeah, they probably won't like it, but we have to find them anyway.
You see, I'm not mad at you. No, we're not the enemies. You just don't understand me and the island. You look at me, you look at the other children of the island as we are your enemies. But we all are just afraid of each other. That's why we feel so bad. That's why—
Traitors!
Of uncontrollable bursts of energy. There was a malfunction on station number 2 as a result of a reactor explosion on station number 1. To anyone who can hear me, welcome. By the time you listen to this recording, I will most likely be dead. My name is no longer important. I am the former head of security for station number 2. My code name is Sumrak.
Not every form of consciousness can have bodies like we're used to. Life can come in the form of a stone, or sand, or even something scattered in the air.
Oh, I can hear the good old radon beeping. It's not a bad detector at first, but it can be inaccurate if there is more than one anomaly nearby. Basically, once you get enough hexes, I recommend you buy a better one.
Rumor has it that when the first tide came, the rogue wastelands were altered by something similar to a huge laser ray.
To put it simply, artifacts are bundles of energy. Artifacts are extremely rare, and their activation in the wrong hands can lead to disastrous consequences.
We tried to give you a chance, but your stubbornness doesn't leave us any other choice.
Soon, I will be able to break free from the shackles.
Now.
Oh, the Holy Awakening. Is my valuable customer finally awake? You were surrounded by a bunch of little blue lights.
Каждый перегон я изнываю от страха. Работа караванщика нелегка. Так что если не понимаешь, подвлеки самый толчалка! Помоги мне атаковать!
It is extraordinary that you survived the attack of the tide. It would have turned anyone in your place into a fallen or a pile of ashes. But as you see, that didn't happen to you. You are safe and sound.
So, rookie, how are you feeling? Are you ready to prove yourself worthy? I only need those in high spirits, you know what I mean? Bright-eyed specialist in anything and everything. I'm sick and tired of whining old bastards. The role of an emissary is just a cover. What I really need is an agent. Research, observe, kill, interrogate, strike deals, make arrangements. That's your part in our difficult task.
For some unknown reasons, you may possess abilities similar to ours, and we'd like to check it. Tartarus, a miserable island overcome by disaster. Your depths hold rotten legacy of hopes we left there long ago. Now you are an open wound, infested and endangering life itself. That's where we will bring our people. We will follow our way to preserve everything still left. The expedition will carry. One is where people have established their settlements. New communities appear there, as well as new trade routes and conflicts. This is where the main storyline unfolds, and PvE locations are situated. You will start here. This part of Pioneer is an adventure game with minimum MMO elements. We put a lot of efforts in our level design and use the best practices of narrative in dialogues. Moreover, we've created a special game mode where other players cannot interfere with you or your party playing. Oh yes, quests can be completed single-handedly or with friends. You can even have a dialogue with an NPC as a party. Explore the regions and gather info about the world and its mysterious past. Rest in any of the settlements, spending time in bars or playing mini-games. Trade for resources and try to gather as much as you can. Pioneer has progression levels, and after each level up, you get one skill point to spend on upgrading your character. This can make playing easier, but without creating builds, you won't have that big of an advantage on the battlefield. Yes, your armor and weapons itself are quite more important. Upgrading and efficiently using your equipment is what actually shows your progress through the game.
Чё, ты выпендривались? Нечего было выёживаться.
Just like certain monster slayer, a skillful character in Pioneer needs two guns. One for killing monsters, and another for punishing teammates or, rarely, other players. You can enhance your weapons or modify your equipment on the workbench, but every step of it consumes resources. Weapons can be modified more comprehensively by upgrading a submachine gun to a machine gun, for example, or by just adding modules which increase your weapon stats on the move. Upgrading the most interesting and powerful equipment demands unique blueprints and resources. And that's the catch. The rarest of the loot can be found only on the right part of the island. The right part of the Pioneer Island consists of two regions, the Midlands and Shadowlands. These territories are home to PVPVE zones and clan wars. The gameplay here feels more like survival. Another player encountered here is likely to be an enemy, and the local creatures are decidedly more dangerous and ferocious. These two regions lack quests and are much less forgivable with regard to the players. You can lose all the resources you've spent time and effort gathering. At the same time, your death in a regular PvE zone will cost you just some polish on your equipment and a little bit of your pride. Your typical gameplay on the right part of the island looks something like this. You're gathering resources or joining your clan members to seize the production point. When you've gathered enough, you're trying to reach a safe zone using one of the suggested paths. Along the road, you're exploring some more unexplored places. Also, there are no guides on the right part of the island, so no fast travel for you. By the way, fast travel in Pioneer is possible with the help of the guides only. In addition to PvP, MMO fans will enjoy our raids and world bosses adapted to the realities of MMO FPS. After all, it would be fun to see how familiar activities look in unfamiliar conditions, wouldn't it? Pioneer is a unique experiment. The further you delve into the depth of the island, the more the game transforms, transitioning from a role-playing adventure to an intense survival experience. We'd love to tell you more, but unfortunately, we'll have to do it in due time.
Still in development, and some aspects are subject to change. Let's start with character movement and controls. We have decided to stray away from slow and clunky movement, often used in other, more traditional survival games, and found a comfortable middle ground between arcade and simulator controls. So, if you're coming from any familiar shooter game, you will have an easy time to adapt without losing any scope for action. You can successfully employ various tactics and combat roles. The same concept goes for other parts of our game, from inventory management to weapon usage. We want our players to have many possibilities without overcomplicating the gameplay mechanics. Speaking of items, and especially weapons, there is plenty to choose from. Almost every gun can be modified in different ways, and some can even be crafted from local scrap and wreckage. Various modifications affect special stats: magazine size, accuracy, fire rate, the stuff you have seen hundreds of times. However, are not always enough. For special critical cases, there are special weapon modifications called artifacts. The artifacts are the sources of energy in Pioneer world. Energy erupted by anomalies or by the burial grounds. This energy is both a resource and a weapon. With the help of artifacts' power, it is possible to create energy and incendiary ammo. Energy ammo is almost useless against the regular humans, but very effective against the monsters spawned by the anomalies and idiots clad in metal armor.
For solutions and reasons, but there is always a lot of distrust and hate.
It must be exhausting to carry such a burden on you, to feel the endless pain and endure the nightmares of such chaos you have survived. But you, just like the others, only wanted a happier life, is that so? Please don't look at me as I am some monster. I think I'm not different from you at all. Please tell me, Uncle, why we feel so lonely. The island has given us a chance to build a new and wonderful life.
Who are you? Identify yourself. We are here to send you regards to Varder's. The chemical weapon has already been sent to the burial ground. The thing you do is just worthless now.
You're listening to a direct report of the events that I'm experiencing at the moment. Several weeks ago, Station Number 2 and Station Number 1 became the source.
We have something special for you. In the world of Pioneer, your main enemy is the island and the threats spawned by it. So there has got to be a way to fight them, and convenient firearms are not always enough. For special critical cases, there are special weapon modifications called artifacts. The artifacts are the sources of energy in Pioneer world. Energy erupted by anomalies or by